cherish all the time you spend, you tuned into. It's time again to cherish all the time you spend, you tuned into. It's the number one podcast. The topics of discussion when we broadcast. So all them artificial man jokes, we do it natural from the concrete to a public standpoint. Real, wherever you're from, life is coexisting, but to know the real, you just gotta listen. Wherever you're from, life is coexisting, but to know the real.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the 52 Scott Podcast. I'm your host, K Money, and in the building with me, my co-host Slash, Freddie G, and Comedian 96. Collectively, we are the Mind of Men. You can find us on X, formerly known as Twitter, at 52 Scott Podcast, Instagram and Facebook, the 52 Scott Podcast, and if you're on YouTube, don't forget to like and or subscribe. Welcome, fellas, to another True Tuesday episode. Today, fellas, man, as you know, the election is finally over with, and I think it was a very stressful election, in my opinion. I know when Wednesday morning came, I was feeling some type of way, man. You know, it definitely didn't turn out the way I expected, and the issue I have, if at all, man, is I'm disappointed that you know the person I voted for didn't win, and which was Kamala Harris. However, I didn't understand the way she lost. You know, I didn't expect it to be in that manner. Mm-hmm. I just don't know where we went wrong at it, and what could have been different. You know, I expected it to turn out to be similar to how it was when Barack ran. You know, we all showed up and we showed out. Right. This time around, you know, she didn't even win the popular vote. And that right there had me scratching my head. You know, if folks were out there watching the same debate that I saw, you know, last month, watching these campaign ads that's running for both parties, I just don't see what it. They obviously didn't understand and receive what I was getting out of these campaigns, and I know we all have an opinion, but I just don't feel that the right person won to run this country, and I just feel that a lot of things are going to take place in the next couple of months. You know,
I think she should have asked for a recount. She should have challenged him.
I don't even think that would have mattered. The fact it did, man, if you look at the numbers.
It wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah.
Hey, K-Man, I got a question for you. You said, I just don't understand where we went wrong. When you say we, who are you speaking of?
I'm speaking of us as a country. I'm as a country, pretty much, not just us black folk. I say we as a country because so many ethnicities were disrespected
during this whole campaign.
But not even just ethnicities. You have females that were disrespected, you know, and it's blatant. It wasn't hidden disrespect. So that in itself, I thought would have, you know, made the numbers look a little different. You know, even the transgenders voted. From what I understand, the percentages were higher than they were in the last election that he ran. So I'm not understanding how he did better in this election versus the last.
Okay, so when you say where we went wrong, you're saying you're speaking of the country as a whole.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, sir.
But if you're speaking of the country, keyword country as a whole, that means that everybody in the country would have voted for Kamala Harris.
Well, that would have been wishful thinking. I wouldn't have expected that to happen again. I'm just surprised that she lost in that manner. It was almost like a blowout.
Yeah, it was. It was really bad.
I think what I found to be interesting, honestly, and this is no shot to you, Cyrus, because I know you kind of felt this way, but I'm sorry, Comedian 96. There's a lot of men out there that had an issue with putting a female in charge of running our country.
Right, and I did.
And that I felt was, you know, it's like we're taking steps backwards, man, and you're being selective and feeling that way because a female can be your boss, and you have no problem, you know, taking orders or commands from her in that instance, but she's not good enough to run our country. It just didn't make sense.
Running a business and running the world is two different things. Running a country is two different things.
But they have advisors.
I know, but this fight is not on me. So this is where it got bad, okay? So if you do the numbers, right? If you do the numbers.
And what numbers we talking about?
And this is the numbers from the Census Bureau and the AI overview of Americans, right? Broken up in basically races. So there's two, and this is the AI overview Census Bureau as of 2023. So that's just a year ago. There's 252 white American people. 252 million.
Right.
All right. While there's 45 million black people. Okay. The others, and that's only 45. The blacks and the whites together is only 45% of what makes up the U.S., right? The other 55% is Hispanic and non-white and others that don't identify, right? Which is 55% as of this same as 2023. Mm-hmm. Now, if you take of the 252 white people, 252 million white, if you take half of them and say, okay, give her the Kamala. No, we ain't gonna say half because we know that's not gonna be true. Kamala. We're gonna say 100 million of the 252. Just say we give them 100 million of the 252. We took almost half of white votes. Now we got 100 million for Kamala. Just say we gave her all of 45 million for Kamala. Every black person in the world, we still lose.
Well, here's the thing.
We still lose.
Here's the thing. You're speaking of popular votes.
Well, I'm looking at the numbers.
The president is selected. The president is selected by electoral votes. What you're speaking of are popular votes. You can
now,
win.
That's what I don't
you
know
can win the presidency and still not have the popular vote.
Then why do you stress for? If that's the case, then why do you stress for? Go vote. Go vote. If that's the case, if you can still win, if everybody did they due diligence and vote, and they want, just say everybody in the world voted for Kamala, but she didn't. Kamala. Everybody in the world voted for Kamala, but she didn't win the other one. What'd you call the
electoral?
Other one? Electoral.
So here's
so what would happen?
Here's what I would do for you.
Right.
Because I know who I'm speaking to.
Yeah.
And I don't want to change the narrative for the most part of the topic.
Right.
I'll give you tutorials after the show.
Yeah, you give me some tutorials because now I'm not understanding, because I'm looking at the numbers and to me it's an uphill battle because of the amount of.
So, question, Comedian 96, and
I gave and I ain't talking about the Hispanics, not to say it like that, but if you know, most I ain't gonna say all, were for Trump.
So what were their numbers? Just out of coincidence, out of curiosity, what was
theirs? Was like, I want to say it was 32, 33 million, somewhere around there. Don't get me wrong, it's somewhere in that range.
And
but
you say these numbers come from the Census Bureau?
Yeah, Census Bureau and AI overview.
And is that many more white people than blacks?
Yes, always have been. We've always been minority.
I just find that's a very large difference.
252? No, it's not large. It's always been that
252 over 40 something?
45 million. Mm-hmm. In America, in the U.S. Mm-hmm.
I just find that hard to believe, man, but I can't go against your numbers right now. I can fact check later.
Yeah.
But I just find that's a very large difference between how many more whites there are in America or in the country than blacks.
That's why we're called the minority, because they are majority by numbers. They are majority.
Well, I didn't think that. I thought they were becoming a minority. Which is why I was concerned or curious as to how many Hispanics that Census Bureau had for which didn't turn out in our favor either, or in her favor.
Yeah.
So you saying that she never had a chance regardless?
Looking at the numbers, just as I'm viewing the numbers, and that's what I do. I'm looking at the numbers, and I'm like, well, the Hispanics are already on Trump's side, so we were losing that already. Most of them, the ones that I've talked to. And then, of course, most of the whites, in my mind, would probably go to Trump as well. Not saying all, but most. And then, on top of that, like you guys say, it's a lot of people that we don't vote in not just our race, but just a lot of people, period.
I think those are the ones that hurt. The non-voters, I think it had a major impact in this election.
Yeah, but even just say out of 45 million, 45.76 is what they got here. 45.76. Just say 30 million voted, 15 million didn't. I mean, even with that, even if everybody voted and we did our due diligence, we were on a losing path. I mean,
I disagree. I feel if everyone voted and did their due diligence, again, you didn't have to like either one of the opponents, but as long as you voted for one of them, then we would know for sure, how this country was really, how we. I can't think of the correct.
Like the structure of the American thinking.
Yeah, thanks, Slash. Yeah,
because and the reason why I think you're saying that is because if you share the views of President Donald Trump, knowing that most of his speeches are rhetoric because he's never done a speech. I've never heard a speech from Donald Trump.
No, he's a terrible man.
All he does is it's just bragging.
Yeah,
like I said,
and downplaying people.
Yeah, I'm gonna double down on it. I'm gonna double down, and I'm gonna say what I've said before. Neither, to me, were good candidates to be president. Neither. I'm not a Trump supporter at all. I never will be.
And that's fine. But like I say, one of them had to win. So why not just vote for one of them?
Right.
That's my thing.
And I think that's the issue here because the first question you got to ask yourself is, why am I not voting for this person? Even if you feel that if you didn't vote, your question should be, why did I not vote for this person?
And not to put you on the spot, Comedian 96, your reasoning for not voting is okay.
Don't put I'm not going to answer.
Okay, no problem. I respect that. I was just trying to. You voted in the past. Can I ask that?
Yes.
Okay, that's all I wanted to say. That's all I wanted to pretty much.
Man down.
So because this show is not about me.
No, it's not.
That's what's going to head, and I'm not going to go there.
Well, no, I'm not.
That's why I refuse to go there with.
No, there's a lot of people out there that think like you, though, and you can speak for those people. In regards to not voting. I can't
speak for them because I got my own personal reasons why they just didn't qualify. They didn't. I'm a manager. If I have somebody in that don't qualify for a position, I'm not going to hire them.
Now
it's the same thing.
I'll
sorry.
be honest and tell you why I didn't vote for Donald Trump. I voted the other direction, and my main reason is what they thought we were banking on, the fact that the ethnic deal. That was my reason for going to vote for that woman. Not because I shared her policies or knew what her policies were, but my mind frame was on it'll help us in the future, in the long run, to have that under our resume as black people.
Oh, I got what you're saying.
Do you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we as people, as black people, got to start understanding that because no other culture is going to help us get where we've seen this.
I do have a question. You guys are all for Kamala, right? You all.
Well, we felt that she was the better candidate.
Right. So, and I'm not knocking her in any way, but it was like pulling teeth to try to just figure out what nationality she was. She came out, she was Indian.
You could look at the woman and tell.
I know, but every show she would never say I was black until it was time for her to go up for the election.
That's not true.
I watched the show.
She was
true.
What is that?
That's not true.
AKA
she's put out who her mother is, or what ethnicity her mother is.
When?
At the convention.
Multiple times.
At the convention. I'm talking about years
but prior,
she said she was Indian.
Here's the thing.
She's always said she was Indian. And now...
Here's the deal.
Right.
Is she not?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to believe.
My point is...
Because she's a lawyer.
She's a U.S. citizen.
She's put it out multiple times. But here's the thing. Her ethnicity shouldn't even matter.
It shouldn't. And that's the problem. It doesn't matter.
So why bring it up?
Why are you bringing it up if it doesn't matter?
I'm not bringing it up.
You did bring it up.
You just did.
Listen. If you can't be something open and honest as far as your nationality, why should I vote for you?
She has been open.
No. She's been flip-flopping, and you guys don't agree to that.
See, this is a Donald Trump supporter.
No, I'm not a Trump. Don't put me out to be a Trump supporter.
You put yourself out there.
I'm calling it how I see, man. It's too many shows. She has too many shows where she's saying what nationality she is.
I can tell you.
Different. It's
what
different.
nationality did she say? Tell me what she said. What you hear her say?
On the cooking show with the girl, I don't know her name, the Iranian girl.
You don't have to tell where it came from.
She said she was Indian on her show. Okay. On the who is she talking to? And she said she was white. This is a talk show.
She said she was white.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. I'm telling. It's
I
a
wish
talk
I
show.
could have heard the question.
Let me
That's fine.
remember
So she
the
said
talk
she's
show.
Indian,
Okay,
she said
so
she
like,
white.
and that's fine. You could be mixed.
Okay.
Say that.
Okay.
Say that.
So
now,
what
if
else-
you gonna
what else
say,
did-
if you
what
gonna
else
say
did she
you
say?
Indian,
What else did she say?
also say I'm black, I'm white, I'm blah blah blah, I'm blah blah blah. Don't stop at one and that, because if you go look at the Indian show, that's all she says. She's Indian and nothing else. She don't say I'm Indian and I'm mixed with such and such.
Okay.
She doesn't say that. She just say straight Indian and they go into cooking.
Okay, now here's the thing. Here's the thing. Let's say that is 100% true.
Mm-hmm.
Help me to go and find that. How would I do that?
Easy. I can Google that for you right now on YouTube. That's no problem.
Help me to find it. No, well, just after
When
the
you
show.
getting that
Oh, after the
tutorial,
show,
yeah.
okay.
When you getting that tutorial,
You
Okay.
you when I'm giving you a tutorial,
You give me a
you
tutorial.
help me
Okay.
to find that. Because
Okay.
here's the thing. You're saying that you got a problem with her not disclosing her
So
national.
this is what's
Let-
happening.
let
him
This
speak.
show is coming back on me, so we need to change the subject because I'm
Comedian
not, I'm
96, you brought this topic up.
Not,
You
okay,
brought the
so
subject
I'm
matter
done
up.
with it then.
So you can say you're saying we can't express
let's
our
go.
opinion?
That's fine. You guys upset she lost, but you're not finna put it back on me. Kiss my ass, all three of y'all, for real. I'm not finna. You finna put this back on me.
You the one
I
that
am not in charge of the election. I am not the president. I ain't not in charge with none of that shit.
So
She
now-
lost.
so
Get
now-
over it and let's move
so
on.
now you
and that's
feel-
what I'm finna tell
So
y'all.
now you feel the need to introduce me to your ass?
Well,
You feel the need to introduce me to your ass. Let me tell you something. You don't invite no man to your ass.
ain't nobody invite. I'm just
You
telling
just
you.
said
You
you
just-
just
you
said
told all
it.
three of them.
You don't invite me to
All
your
right,
ass.
let's move on then. How about that? No, you ain't got to come to my ass. Oh Lord. Pause.
You don't want nobody to come to your ass. So you inviting people to your ass.
Wow.
The more
Hey.
you open your mouth, the more
Hey,
you sound
hey.
like Trump.
Here's what I would say to you.
done.
Then we
I'm
can move
done.
on. Here's what I would say to you in all seriousness. Man, at some point, as your homeboy and as somebody who actually care about you, real talk, I would advise you to be able to have an intelligent conversation without getting into your emotions and feelings.
No. The thing
Because
is,
you invite people to your ass.
I'm not. Shut up. I'm not getting emotional, but what y'all not finna do is put this show back on me because
We didn't put
Kamala
nothing
lost.
on you.
Well,
You made a comment and we were
You
all
made a
responding
comment
to the
and we was trying to
comment.
understand where you coming from. You made a comment and we trying to understand where you coming from. So if you're going to speak on something and you're trying to make your point across and we're not understanding what your point is, allow us to ask questions so that we can understand you
Okay,
better.
what's going on?
This is how we'll end this. I am not political smarts. I don't have political smarts. Never have. Never will. Not really interested in politics at all. So I'm not the person to ask.
I just wanted to know if you
So I'll
voted in
leave
the
it there.
past.
I'll leave
You
it there.
answered
So that way the
question.
listeners know I'm not political. I don't know shit about politics, and I care less to not know. I can care less. There you go.
You done?
Done. Done. There you go.
Appreciate your opinion, man. Appreciate your opinion.
I wish y'all could see his face right now, audience.
I am keeping the time, and they talking about my face. I'm just whatever.
They didn't ask you what you was doing. I'm just saying, I wish the audience could see his face right now.
I agree with something you said earlier, Freddie G. You know, whatever her nationality was had nothing to do with, you know, whether or not she was qualified to be, you know, commander-in-chief. I'm not sure why that even became an issue, but that was just some of the rhetoric that, you know, her opposing.
The thing is, if it's you can tell that simple lie with other
Why you
lies
still
can
talking
continue.
about
Yeah, you see,
politics?
you
Why
want you
you
don't want to
still
turn
talking
on you,
about
but you still
If
want to
you
say
can tell
something.
a simple
Why
lie
you
like
still-
that with other
why-
lies can you tell?
Why are you still
That's
talking
all
about
I-
politics?
that's how people with good minds would look at it. You
So
can tell
Trump didn't lie
if
about
you can't-
anything?
Man, he's a super liar. I already told you that.
Okay,
he's a
so-
super duper
so what's the
liar.
difference?
But at least here's the difference. I will say this.
So you should have voted for this
I'm
man.
not political, but I
why
will
are you
say
speaking
this.
on something you don't know nothing about?
Listen, I don't know nothing about it.
Why are you
But
speaking on
Here's
it?
the thing.
You said you were done.
Listen.
Now you want us to listen.
Okay, never mind. You ain't gotta listen. Go ahead. You're right. I shouldn't even be speaking on it.
You
You're right.
shouldn't
You're
be.
right.
Yeah,
You're right.
yeah.
I shouldn't even be speaking on it. Go.
You shouldn't be, man, because
Go ahead, go
you
ahead.
don't want to welcome our opinion, so we damn sure shouldn't be welcoming yours.
I'm listening now. Go ahead.
No, don't listen. You said you don't know politics, so don't listen. So that means for the remainder of the show, you could check out.
All right. Checked out.
I think that she had the most intelligence of the two candidates.
She sounded more political than of the two.
And again, I don't know her policies and what her main issues with, what policies she wanted to kind of push forward. I don't know. But here's what I think another reason as to why she did not win this presidential race, because she was vice president, of course, for 4 years. And for the first 3 years of the presidency and her being vice president, I never heard her say nothing.
Well, here's the thing. I understand that, and a lot of people feel that way.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. Most of the time, if you go back and you think about all of the vice presidents, you rarely heard them speak. Mm-hmm. You rarely heard them speak. However, they would be sent sometimes, in addition to the Secretary of State, they would be sent to different countries to speak on behalf of the country, right? But most vice presidents, you don't really hear nothing from them. Now, I think that a lot of people think what kind of hurt her is that she couldn't really separate herself from Joe Biden.
Yeah,
that did hurt.
So a lot of people feel like that she couldn't separate herself. Mm-hmm. Now, here's something that we need to factor in. She only had 90 days,
right,
to prepare.
Yeah,
for
she
this
didn't have
election
much time at
versus
Trump
another
doing it for the last 8 years.
Another president, when they're preparing for these types of election, the new election, they got over a year to prepare for this stuff. She only had 90 days.
She didn't have enough time.
And the turnout and what she had for those 90 days was awesome.
Right.
Now, what I will say is something that I've mentioned before, and that is you really, truly get an opportunity to see, removing race, you really get a true opportunity to see what this country is about.
Mm-hmm.
So, Freddie G, let me ask you this question. I just want your honest opinion. Had she had the regular time frame to prepare for this election, do you think the outcome would have been different? Or just the numbers would have been slightly better?
Here's what I think. So, good question. So, in my heart, I want to believe that the outcome would be different. However, I believe that the numbers would have been better because she would have been able to answer the questions that she's answered multiple times now. She would have been able to answer them sooner and run these ads more often.
I get
for
that.
them to see. So for people who think that her nationality, who believes that her nationality play a part and she's lied about her nationality, well,
It doesn't.
I can tell you that I've seen where she's addressed her nationality. I've seen it where she's addressed it, right? Well, there's somebody else that may say she's never addressed it, right? And to them, if she's never addressed it, to me, that had she had more time, then she would have been able to run campaigns and do things to where that person would have seen what I saw.
Right. And that's something, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so I think that played a part. So the answer to your question, K-Money, based upon how the country, how overwhelmingly, and they're still counting votes as we speak, how overwhelmingly President Trump has dominated with these electoral votes. I don't know if she would have won, but I believe that the numbers may look a little bit better.
That was something I didn't factor in is the time frame that she had to run this in. I'm not considering that, and that's a valid point. It's just, man, just looking at social media throughout the last couple of days, people are expressing their opinions on how they feel, how they think things are gonna change, and a lot of these opinions don't favor us as a people. It's scary now, man. But the simple fact of the matter is that he's won. So we have to adjust and figure out what we're going to do as a country moving forward. This is a pretty hot topic, man. I think we ought to come back Friday and reconvene and discuss, some of the things that we feel
I think Friday would be cool.
You ain't lying, because y'all done ran me hot. I got some more
So
stuff.
you admit that you in your feelings, you're hot.
No, I said.
You said y'all done ran me hot.
I said I was looking in the sky.
No, you said you're hot. So y'all done ran me hot. So you admitting that you got in your feelings.
Bring the Vaseline. This concludes another True Tuesday episode. And be sure you tune in tomorrow for another episode of Women Wednesday with Freddie G. Don't forget to follow us on X, formerly known as Twitter, at 52 Scott Podcast. Instagram and Facebook, the 52 Scott Podcast. And if you're on YouTube, don't forget to like and or subscribe. And to all my 52 Scott faithfuls, it may be new to you, but if you heard it here, then you know it's true.